The PGA Tour is once again facing serious questions about its future, and this time, one of the biggest names in golf is speaking out. Jack Nicklaus, an 18-time major champion and one of the most respected figures in the history of the game, has reportedly requested a face-to-face meeting with newly appointed PGA Tour Chief Executive Brian Rolapp. When a legend like Nicklaus feels the need to step in and ask difficult questions, people pay attention. Golf has gone through one of the most dramatic periods in its history over the last few years. The rise of LIV Golf changed everything. Massive contracts lured away some of the biggest stars from the PGA Tour, creating divisions among players and confusion among fans. Tournaments that once featured the strongest fields in golf suddenly look different. Rival leagues, legal battles, and endless negotiations created uncertainty about where professional golf was heading. The PGA Tour tried to respond with bigger purses, signature events, and changes to its schedule. However, many fans still believe the sport has lost some of its magic. Instead of talking about great shots and incredible rivalries, much of the conversation has focused on money, business deals, and politics behind the scenes. Now, Brian Rolapp enters the picture. Rolapp built a strong reputation during his years with the National Football League, where he played a major role in media rights and business growth. Many people see him as an experienced executive who understands how to build a modern sports brand. The PGA Tour hopes that his leadership can help guide professional golf through one of the most challenging periods in its history. But not everyone is ready to simply trust the process. Jack Nicklaus has always been outspoken when it comes to protecting the future of golf. Throughout his career and retirement, he has repeatedly emphasized the importance of tradition, competition, and the relationship between players and fans. According to reports, Nicklaus wants a direct conversation with Rolapp because he has concerns about where the tour is going and how certain decisions are being made. That alone should tell you something. When one of the greatest golfers of all time asks for a meeting, it means there are important issues that need answers. Nicklaus is not just another former player offering an opinion on television. He is a man whose influence reaches every corner of the sport. He has seen golf evolve through multiple generations, and his perspective carries enormous weight. One of the biggest concerns appears to be the possibility of further changes to the structure of professional golf. There have been endless discussions about reunification with LIV Golf and the involvement of Saudi investment money in the future of the game. Many fans are tired of the uncertainty. They simply want to see the best players competing against each other every week. Nicklaus reportedly shares that concern. He has long believed that golf is strongest when its biggest stars play together regularly. The current split has created frustration not only among fans, but also among players who miss competing against certain rivals. Every major championship now feels like a reunion rather than a continuation of regular competition. Another issue is the identity of the PGA Tour itself. For decades, the PGA Tour represented tradition, merit, and a pathway where players earned success through performance. Some critics believe recent changes have moved the tour away from those principles. Larger guaranteed money, smaller elite fields, and constant restructuring have raised questions about what the tour wants to become. Is it still the same PGA Tour that fans grew up watching? Or is it becoming something completely different? These are the kinds of questions that legends like Jack Nicklaus want answered. There is also concern about the long-term relationship between the tour and its players. During the battle with LIV Golf, the PGA Tour asked players to remain loyal and reject massive offers elsewhere. Many players did exactly that. They stood by the tour during one of its most difficult moments. Then came the shocking announcement of negotiations with Saudi investors. For some players, that felt confusing and even frustrating. They had turned down life-changing money to support the tour, only to later discover that business discussions were happening behind closed doors. Rebuilding trust has become one of the biggest challenges facing PGA Tour leadership. Brian Rolapp inherits all of these issues. His task is not simply about increasing television ratings or signing sponsorship deals. He must restore confidence among players, legends, and fans. He needs to create a vision that brings stability to a sport that has experienced years of turbulence. That is why a meeting with Jack Nicklaus could be extremely important. Nicklaus represents something much larger than himself. He represents golf's history and traditions. If he supports the direction of the PGA Tour, it could give fans and players greater confidence in the future. If he remains concerned, the questions surrounding the tour may only grow louder. The timing of this meeting request is also significant. Professional golf is at a crossroads. Television ratings remain under pressure. Younger audiences consume sports differently than previous generations. Competition for viewers has never been greater. Every major sport is fighting for attention in an increasingly crowded entertainment landscape. Golf cannot afford years of confusion and division. The sport needs clarity. It needs leadership. And perhaps most importantly, it needs unity. Many people believe Brian Rolapp was hired because of his experience in modern sports business. During his time with the NFL, he helped oversee one of the most successful sports organizations in the world. The NFL consistently dominates television ratings and generates enormous revenue. The PGA Tour hopes some of that expertise can help golf grow. However, running golf is very different from running football. Golf has a unique culture. Its traditions run deep. Players operate more independently than athletes in many team sports. Decisions often involve balancing history with innovation. That is not an easy task. Every move is examined closely. Every statement is analyzed. Every decision creates winners and losers. And now one of golf's biggest icons wants answers directly from the man in charge. Some reports suggest that Nicklaus is particularly interested in understanding the tour's long-term strategy. Where does the PGA Tour see itself 5 years from now? What happens with LIV Golf? How can the sport bring its best players back together? What role will tradition play in future decisions? These are massive questions. And there are no easy answers. Fans are also paying close attention because many of them feel disconnected from the ongoing business drama. They miss the days when the conversation centered on great tournaments, legendary performances, and memorable rivalries. They want to watch Rory McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, and Jon Rahm competing against each other more often. They want clarity about the future. They want golf to feel united again. Jack Nicklaus understands that. Throughout his life, he has always thought about the bigger picture of the game. Even after retirement, he continues to care deeply about where professional golf is heading and what kind of sport future generations will inherit. That is why this meeting matters. It is not just about one legend talking to one executive. It is about the future direction of professional golf. If Brian Rolapp can convince influential figures like Nicklaus that the PGA Tour has a strong and clear vision, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter. But if concerns remain unresolved, the pressure on tour leadership will only increase. The reality is that the PGA Tour faces one of the most important periods in its history. Competition from LIV Golf changed the landscape forever. Fans have become impatient. Players want certainty. Sponsors want stability. Everyone is waiting to see what happens next. And now all eyes are on a potential conversation between Jack Nicklaus and Brian Rolapp. Sometimes in sports, the most important moments do not happen on the field, the court, or the golf course. Sometimes they happen behind closed doors. A single meeting can shape decisions, influence strategy, and change the direction of an entire organization. Whether this meeting leads to major changes or simply opens a line of communication remains to be seen. But one thing is clear. When Jack Nicklaus speaks, the golf world listens. And when he demands answers about the future of the PGA Tour, it is a sign that the challenges facing professional golf are far from over. The next few months could determine whether the PGA Tour enters a new era of stability and growth or continues to battle uncertainty and division. Brian Rolapp has been handed one of the most difficult jobs in sports. His ability to unite different groups, restore confidence, and create a clear vision may define the future of professional golf for years to come. For now, fans can only wait and watch. Because if one of the greatest champions in history believes important questions still need to be answered, then the entire golf world should probably be asking those same questions as well.